go. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to All Ports Motorsport Supercars NZ. Welcome back. Brand new season, 2023, Season 2. We've got up here in the broadcasting lounge tonight to the one and only Shane White. We may call him the Lamppost Destroyer from now on. And Mr. Wayne Bloor coming in tonight with his brand new headphones. How we going, guys?
Yeah, good, thanks, Doug. Here at Donington for some V8 action, non-championship round tonight to kick things off as we head into the new season. This is to give admin a chance to make sure everybody's in the right place before we get the championship started. So these guys will be battling it out currently in Div 2, and we're going to see if any of these guys need to be moved up to Div 1.
Yeah, very cool. We've already booted out the guys that are in the 105s. I know there's a couple there, but yeah, see what happens. It's going to be bloody cool race. Love this little track, Donington. Love that big downhill sweeping to the bottom right corner and then up that hill. It's wicked, eh? I love it.
Certainly is. It's a really cool track. And yeah, so starting off the new season, we welcome back very happily All Ports. Under their All Ports Motorsport banner, still in affiliation, repping the All Ports Gaming products. And as you can see with the banner on screen, for any of the racers at home, if you're sitting on the fence about wanting to get any of the SuperCars Gaming products, hit them up. Put in at the checkout counter the discount code of SCNZ for SuperCars NZ, SCNZ, and you'll get 15% off on any of all the SuperCars Gaming products there. So yeah, massive thanks to them for coming back on board with us for the season, and we've also got some new weekly sponsors going to be announced throughout the season as well. So it's really cool to see how well the league is growing. Certainly getting some cool numbers, and a big shout out to all the guys coming back season after season. There's a few of the guys talking tonight in the Discord, noting how well the racing times are coming down and closing up together, which leads to a lot more fun and exciting action on track.
And talking to drivers coming back, fitting that you're on a VSK Sim Sports car there, because the whole VSK Sim Sports team has come back after a number of seasons where we just had Leith bashing around in the GT3s. He's brought his whole team back and racing in the V8s tonight, so very cool to see. We got Leith 20 there. We got Wayne Van Biljon, who's sitting third at the moment, so good performance for him, and Justin Allen that we just had on screen there as well. So very cool to see the VSK team well represented tonight.
Yeah, welcome back, guys, and yeah, we'll see how these guys go. And obviously with the qualifying times happening at the moment, we're seeing Wayne Van Biljon and Lee Swinney there up to near towards the top. Should be some good racing, and hopefully some team tactics taking place, and we can see how those guys possibly shuffle their way towards the top at the race end. Have you got anything,
cool.
shout outs for us there, Wayne? Any announcements that we've missed for the new season?
Oh, just everybody that's helped us out along the way, and yeah, massive shout out to All Ports as usual, and they're doing it for us, and yeah, having a blast at blasting their logo, so looking forward to another season with that. And yeah, we're gonna give away a lot more this season is our goal. Just doing some deals with merch, so coffee cups, bottle openers, and I'll be doing a shout out for your postal address, so we'll just start posting stuff out.
Hey.
Yeah, so get
awesome
that logo out there, and bottle openers, stubby coolers, and coffee cups is the goal. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I suppose that all leads towards our ultimate goal here at SuperCars NZ, which is New Zealand domination onwards and upwards to global domination. And we've already got our teeth sunk into some parts of Australia, and with Shane's help, we've got some Euro fans, and also one of our very own New Zealand racing drivers who lives out of Germany. He jumps on board and races with us from time to time. So anything is possible. Let's see how far we can stretch it.
Yeah, good fun. I mean, it's always been a dream just to have a good race, and that's it, man, and that's where we're at, and here we are. We got 2 splits tonight. and yeah, so we're commentating Div 2. So Div 1, all the super fast guys are all blading around this track in another sim. So nice to know that we've got a massive following and representation as well, which is very cool.
Certainly is, yeah. So very cool thing to be able to say that we've got two divs, and it's becoming increasingly more difficult, as it was apparent tonight. Just where people should be sitting in which divs, because the timings are so tight right across the board. There's probably some guys we could shuffle up. There's probably some guys we could shuffle down. At the end of the day, it's just really cool to see how each of these guys are perfecting themselves, pushing harder. I reckon they all must, they must all be out there running the Sparko gloves and boots, and that's why Shane and I left up there in the podcasting lounge.
Yeah, sounds legit, man. Definitely.
That must be right. Man, you must have to take advantage of that 15% off there, Doug, and use that CNZ code to get us some Sparko gloves and boots.
I know, secretly, I mean, I wouldn't tell the bosses, but I'm hoping at some point we might be on the winning streak and get one of those random spinning wheels, and they forget that admins aren't included, and just by chance we might see something in the mail, but I don't know. I think I've held out long enough. I might just have to risk it and
I
buy
get
my
it.
own.
I get it. I get it. Just send me a message and let me know what you want. All right.
There we go.
Nice and
Rounding
easy.
down the last few seconds here of qualifying, and got Daniel Nolan sitting up there at the top, and I believe he was our second place Div 2 championship from last season.
So yeah, that makes sense. Rockin' number 1. He obviously wants that top spot. Because I did mention anyone in the 105s needs to jump into Div 1, and he sort of sheepishly hung around like, ooh, I don't want to go, man. So yeah, no, good on you for hanging in there. I would too. Yeah.
Yep. Like we said, non-championship round tonight. It's more of the getting the feelers out, letting people get back into the vibe of racing and competitive racing again after a sort of a cruisy couple of weeks, not battling it out, and finding out where people do sit as far as race timing and race etiquette.
And of course, we'll leave it up to the maestro Sean to suss out the actual splits after this round, and he'll probably tell me off for bidding those guys out. So sorry, guys. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good race. Enjoy.
Awesome. All right, Wayne, and yeah, have a good one, and the guys will be able to catch you on Thursday night for
Oh
round
yeah,
one of the
rocking the
GT3s.
GT3s. All right, see you soon. Catch up.
Cheers, mate.
So there we go, Shane. Here we are, getting ready to rip into another brand new season, and the last one just flew on by, and here we are, tapping on the door of round one. Not quite round one for the V8s, but round one for the GT3s on Thursday, with the official round one taking place next week for the V8s. TCR's still on Wednesday with Piston Cup, still on board for Fridays and Saturdays, so still a lot of fun and excitement for everyone if they want to come and join. We may be lenient and let in a few late registrations, but as far as I'm aware, we closed off on Sunday, didn't we?
I believe that's the case, but I think that relates mainly to the V8s and GT3s, and we do race 7 nights a week, so there's always something on and always something that might suit your level of commitment to the sim. So come and have a look. Hit up admin if you want to try and be invited to the league, and yeah, we can see if we can fit you in.
Awesome. Rightio, can't be too far away from having those beautiful coloured dots popping up on the screen. There they go there. Getting ready to light up and for the racing to begin.
Green.
Yeah, so they're away, and looks like Daniel getting away to a good start. Just moving over to cover from Peter. Steve Darren looking to come down the inside, but just covered off by Daniel there, and oh, Bill Kilger going wide. and Daniel leading the run down the hill early on, stretching out a little bit of a gap early on. Steve Darren fighting with Peter Vanderberg there, Wayne Biljon just behind them in fourth. And Wayne's fighting it out with Cole Taylor here. A lot of side by side. That's allowing Daniel to stretch out to an early lead. Almost stretching that out to 2 seconds already as these guys go side by side, fighting it out. And almost going 3 wide there. Super tight races, they just almost start to settle down into single file, but still a lot of looks going on, a little bit of blinking there for one of the Misfits cars. 3 wide into the chicane. Oh, that probably went about as well as could be expected really. A couple of guys scrambling off the track to get around all that. Most guys doing well to get through the incident as Steve Darren's gone wide on my screen at turn 1. But Daniel Nolan taking advantage of all that fighting to stretch out a nice early lead out to 3, nearly 4 seconds already at the front.
Yeah, great start to the race, but 3 into 1 doesn't always work out the best. So we saw a bit of a dance over each other's toes there for a minute. As we come back up towards this corner here, where we saw that incident just take place, as we follow Peter Vanderberg, who's getting chased at the moment by Cole Taylor. Daniel Nolan steaming ahead of the field there, already stretched out his gap over Wayne by 3.5 seconds. As just in front of him, Andrew Johnson just came out of the pit lane after getting tangled up in that mess. See Trent Bennett come into pit lane, he's going to get repaired. He appeared to be having a wee bit of some connective issues there just at the beginning as well, so maybe that 3 wide incident, the other guys on screen couldn't quite see him. I'm not too sure, but there'll be some chats afterwards about that, I'm sure.
So
Shout out to, sorry, just a quick shout out to Lace Lineage there at home, tuning in to watch the racing over in Aussie with his boy Rehan, who championed here a few seasons back, about 3 times over, and doing really well in the Scops series. So welcome back, Laz. Good to see you still tuning in and seeing how the racing's going, and no doubt letting Rehan know that he'd still have us all in a hissy fit, trying to keep up with him. He's about the one and only true person I've ever seen being able to take it to Shane Van Gisbergen, who I believe won last. Did he take out our Div 1 championship last season, Shane?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so big season there for SVG. He stuck it out and did the whole season and monstered a lot of the races and cleaned up some good points. There. Daniel Nolan now leading Cole Taylor, who's moved into second place by just over 5 seconds. Cole coming across the line there with Wayne Van Biljon there and Peter Vanderberg sitting close behind them in 3rd and 4th.
Yes, a couple of South Africans in that battle.
I'm surprised because then we look back here and we've got Grant Bristow here and he's got the Devil's Cup barbecue on the side of his car. With those couple of South Africans in front of him, they might be lured to slow down a wee bit if the wind's blowing in the right direction. Some good smelling meat. The South Africans love it.
They sure do. And that was a big moment there for for Derek Lovegrove.
Sure was.
Brand new team there, Misfits Racing. previously most of these guys were racing under similar colours under the Festive Foods banner, but they've decided to give themselves an official team name rather than just the sponsor name of Festive Foods, and yeah, all racing under that Misfits Racing banner. So cool to see them getting together. A lot of these guys were involved in the Passion Sim racing team before that team was disbanded to focus more on the community side of things.
Yep.
So very cool to see.
So just looking there, correct me if I'm wrong if we've got any other information. We're on lap 6 of 22, just the one race tonight, or are there 2 heats?
I believe there's a couple of heats. Yeah, so there will be a 30-lap race coming up after this one as well.
There you go. What a welcome back introduction to racing. We're getting stuck in and having 2 very long races to start off the new season.
Yeah, and Cole continuing to fight those 2 South Africans. Had Peter Vanderberg having a bit of a sniff. Now he's been able to shake him off a little bit and focusing on trying to find a way past Wayne and Belgian again. But as this fighting goes on, it continues to allow Daniel Nolan to just keep going smooth out in front, opening that gap, and that's a Misfits car going off at the final chicane. Scott McKenzie, so he already hasn't had the greatest race and having another little moment there.
Yeah, I think a few of these guys just thrown off a wee bit by the opening lap dramas, damages and bits and pieces like that. So Scott McKenzie down 10 grid spots currently into P21.
And Cole's managed to find his way around Wayne, and I wonder if these guys would be quite well advised to just settle into a bit of a rhythm here and try and work together to see if they can reel in Daniel Nolan a little bit, or potentially that gap might have even gone too far. It's a lot of time to reel in. Still, fair number of laps to run, but that quite a short lap. Those laps are going to take down pretty quickly. So
Indeed.
they're really going to have to get a move on if they are going to try and chase down Daniel.
My apologies for that. I saw Steve Darren doing his best D1NZ attempt in the background across the grass there. But yeah, you're right. These guys here, they're showing enough pace and some pretty quick lap times when they're out there doing the qualifying. They can be a bit of a benefit to each other doing some slipstreaming and drafting and passing. You might be able to bring those times, that time gap down a wee bit on Daniel Nolan, who certainly isn't holding back from stretching his gap out amongst those guys there.
Yeah, it's really showing the benefit of clean air, because we saw from the start as all that fighting was going on, is I've always wondered what Leith's when he looked like, and there you go. With all that fighting going on in behind Daniel at the start there, it gave him that opportunity to stretch his legs a little bit, and they've just continued to fight behind him, and he's been able to continue stretching that out. So it's allowed him to, just by having clean air and able to do his own thing, enabled him to stretch that lead out to a very comfortable margin at this point.
Steve Darren just not quite finding his rhythm at the moment, and looked like he was about to be passed, but Jared Eccleston taking the time to come in and serve what's probably officially the first on-track pit stop as far as proper racing goings, apart from the others that have obviously gone in for some damage repairs. So not quite reaching a halfway mark, but I'd say Jared taking the opportunity to go in, find some clear air, because he might have been having some difficulty rounding past a couple of the drivers. So we'll see where he comes out amongst the others when they start doing their stops. The man of the hour at the moment, Daniel Nolan. So he goes and pushes in there now onto lap 10. Nearly 8 seconds ahead of the next bunch behind him, Cole Taylor, Wayne Van Biljon and Peter Vanderberg still relatively racing close together.
Yeah, and that gap for Daniel is going to be a massive strategy advantage as well, because it puts him in a position where he's not vulnerable to the undercut. He can just keep driving out there, wait for the other guys to make their stops, give it another couple of laps knowing that he's got that margin on hand, and come in, get fresh tyres on, and have a lead knowing that you're going to have fresh tyres to the end as well. So he's in a very strong position at the moment.
Certainly is. So I see a bit of a name drop from Lasith, as we spoke about his son Rehan before. Lasith just put it out there saying that Rehan was going to come back and do a couple of rounds this season when he has some time. And then he's asked the question: the first time doing the splits this way. Don't really think it's not really the first time we've done the splits this way. It's probably about our third season now running with it after running the King of Kings series, and then we just so it's just developed into being named the Div 1 and Div 2, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm wondering if what he means though is doing the non-championship round to start. Ultimately ended up navigating to that last year where we didn't officially go into it with round 1 being a non-championship round, but with the amount of change that went through after that with splitting the field up, Sean did decide it was easier to just ignore those points and start the championship from round 2. So this time around we've just decided to make it an official thing, use that first week to get everybody in the right place, and then we can get the championship started next week.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to explain it correctly, as you've just stated that, Shane. So avoiding having that kerfuffle at the start. Yeah, so tonight is a non-championship round. Getting people just to be able to ground themselves into where they should be, just making sure that we've got people in the right places. So I would quite comfortably say that Daniel Nolan here, who's stretching his toes now nearly 12 seconds ahead of P2, will well and truly be doing his first Div 1 Round 1 championship race next week in the V8s.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, we will have a second race to see if it pans out a little bit differently with less fighting going on behind him, but he has been looking as though he's just been consistently putting down a good pace, although those guys some of those guys that were chasing them have been into the pit. We've got Wayne Van Belgium still out there in third. I wonder if something's happened to him though to have just slipped behind Derek Lovegrove there.
He's just fallen away a wee bit. So Wayne Van Biljon went off track. Have a quick squiz at that.
So the other guys around him have pitted at this point by the look of it, and he's just gone deep at the bottom of the hill there.
Derek Lovegrove just helping keep him escorted out there on the grass by running away with a wide line himself.
So I wonder if he was just pushing that a little bit after those other guys around him had come into the pits, trying to protect against the undercut, and maybe just pushed a bit too hard and ran wide down there as he's in the pits now, as is Derek Lovegrove. Daniel has also been to the pits, so Bill Kilger inherits the lead for now. He will have to come in and make his compulsory pit stop, as will Ross Watson behind him, and I think those are the last two guys yet to pit. Well, Martin Mitchell also showing us still to pit, but he's obviously had his troubles that see him behind guys that have already pitted as well, so he hasn't had the best of races by the look of it.
There you go. Also, another change to the format of the series. A little bit of just with the calendar, how we usually run the same as the official series. There was a vote put out for what do you call it? Dropping a track in exchange for another. Was that what I heard the other day?
Yeah, so there will be another track to replace it, but I understand that will not be part of the championship. So it's a 10-round championship all up, and There will be no drop rounds though, as I understand. So it'll be
Right.
10 rounds. All 10 rounds will count. So for people that can't turn up every week, that could be quite a challenge. So hey, the guys that do turn up every week, they're going to be at an advantage, and they will be rewarded for doing so. So
There you go. Well, that'd be quite cool as well because you know, that might allow for a few of the guys who've just been a little bit just outside of the margins of getting onto the final championship podium to now have a crack at actually really being able to do that, and for them gives them a chance to be able to reap the rewards that others in the past have done so by getting some cash or some iRacing credit or some spot prizes and bits and pieces. So yeah, it's quite another interesting way that here at SuperCars NZ with just slight changes here and there, just keeping things a little bit more interesting. So yeah, thanks for clarifying that one, Shane. I knew you had a good handle of it over me.
yeah, and on that note as well, with the vote, I think most of us in the admin team were expecting once Winton was on that calendar to see that as the track that was going to win the vote to be dropped, which would have been quite disappointed about, as it would have been no Australian tracks on the calendar this season. But actually, to my surprise, Oschersleben was overwhelmingly receiving that vote to be dropped off the calendar. So that fairly new German track dropped, taking that vote out and being, well, winning the prize of being dropped from the calendar, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely quite pleased to see that we will be visiting an Australian track over the course of the season in Winton, even though it's not a track that's popular with a lot of the drivers. It's popular enough that it's going to remain on the calendar.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, very much agree with that. Happy to see that come along. It is always disappointing seeing slightly newer tracks being dropped from a series, and the Oschersleben track in particular. I didn't find it was too bad of a track for the guys who were racing the V8s to get around. I think people were underestimating their skill level a wee bit. I thought everyone did relatively well the last times we'd been racing there. But hey, that's the driver's choice. They obviously feel more comfortable in other areas. Do you maybe have any bit of an inkling on what track may be up to contend replacing that one?
Oh, that's a good question. I've seen a few suggestions. Bathurst was in there. I think I saw maybe a Road America suggested.
Yeah, Detroit.
Yes, I think I did see Detroit suggested there. So
yeah, there's a few people that are really starting to quite dig the street circuits. I'd say a few of those are our fans more of our Friday and Saturday racing in the Piston Cup races, because a lot of those circuits the guys venture towards in the past have been close walled action street circuit styled events, and it certainly develops the driver when you know you don't have as much room to run out across.
yeah, that's right. It takes a lot of skill to navigate in between the walls and puts the pressure on you to not make a mistake, because if you do make a mistake, it normally bites pretty quick.
It does indeed.
Looks like all the pit stops are panned out. We've got Daniel Nolan out front by 9.5 seconds now, so able to hold on and even extend that advantage, but he's just managed to squeeze past the lap car, having a big moment.
Commentator's curse. Who else do you want to see go off? Jared Eccleston. Here we go. Let's see if we can do it. No. I don't see it happening.
Jared's doing a great job running P12, and he's having a very good race so far. Anything?
Yep.
Anything?
No brake
okay.
locking. No. Lee Sweeney. Turn 1. Here we go. He's going to outbrake himself. No. Oh, there you go. So it's only it must be just this guy here.
Yeah. Hey, as much as maybe I'm scared to say it just in case it is a commentator's curse on him, but he did a great job to squeeze through there, didn't he?
He sure did. I believe it was this car here, so you're able to see the action again. So he's just tried to give him some room. That was very close. Just tried to give him some room, just touched the grass, and that was the result of that, just turning around on him. What else we got happening over here in the chat screen? Wayne Bloor, go away Wayne. Cheers team, bloody great as usual. Yeah, send us some gloves. Rob Higgins, looks good guys, I wish I was out there. I thought Rob was. Where did I see Rob's name? I didn't see his name.
You're imagining things, Doug.
I am. No, I was definitely looking at someone else. Yeah, we wish that too, Rob. Bring back the your monster your Rob Higgins. What the heck does Rob Higgins drive? Monster Energy?
I think so, yeah.
DC
Yeah,
BMX, all that kind of thing.
yeah.
Oh, you know what we mean, Rob. We love you. Get back out there, mate. Get amongst it. Show them what it's what. So, I say this with a wee bit of tongue in cheek. Daniel John Stone, should I say? Great new liveries that him and his dad Andrew Johnson have got running there. The old van there, Andrew doing his usual thing in the Mustang. But I don't understand this one here. That used to be a Holden.
It did, and Andrew was quite proud to say that Daniel had asked to run a Ford this season, so quite what went through Daniel's head on that, I'm not sure, but he's pleased his old man, I guess.
I can only assume that he's gone round for for Sunday roast dinner. Mum's brought out the special apple crumble pie, and clearly it's been laced with a ton of drugs and sedatives, and Andrew's whispered in his ear while he's been comatose on the floor, drive the Mustang, drive the Mustang, I want to drive the Mustang. No, I do say that with tongue in cheek. These guys are pretty big supporter of us here at SuperCars NZ, and old boy Andrew gets involved with what do you call it, the Golden Oldies Club? Was it the Veterans or something? Is one of the other racing leagues that he gets stuck into. So he just enjoys his racing, and I'm happy that he's we don't often like to send our drivers off racing elsewhere, but as long as he still keeps turning up and he's got SuperCars on the car, and might be able to drag some extra people across to us in the future, and again see SuperCars NZ grow into some monstrous beast that Shane and I will struggle to contain, and Sean will pull his hair out and Wayne will go insane. We'll have to look at expanding the admin team, get put on a paid contract.
Well, that'd be great.
Anyway, here we go. This man here, I reckon he should hang up his boots for the second race and let someone else have a chance, because sitting there comfortably, 8.6 seconds ahead of P2, Daniel Nolan, look like he's going to happily round up this race. As you can see there at the top, we've got some white flags. I know the other guys don't get white flags, but we get white flags. Hopefully they can fix that on Thursday.
Yes, Daniel out there on the final lap, big lead over Cole Taylor. He's actually eased up the pace a little bit as well, I think, as Cole's been able to reel that in just a little bit, but just not anywhere near enough.
Last couple of corners for Daniel as he keeps it nice and straight and doesn't do anything silly like trying to drift it across the line. Bring it across to the checkered flag man. Well done, Daniel. There's Cole moving it in towards the checkered flag for P2, up 2 grid spots, and Derek Lovegrove, first car back for Misfits at Festive Food there, up 6 spots into P3, just ahead of teammate Peter Vanderberg, who dropped down 2 spots to finish 4th. Wayne Van Biljon there, first VSK car home in 5th, over Steve Darren, down 3 grid spots from where he started, first SDI car home. Well done Leith, just down 1 to finish in 7th, and Bill Kilger, who's just disappeared on me, finished in P8, started P8, finished P8. That's a great drive by Bill, well done Bill. Just ahead of Mike Limbrick, who's had an outstanding run, finishing up 6 grid spots from where he started. And you can see there, I'll just quickly put up the drops and gains, and they're on the side beside their names. And Daniel Johnson there, managing to round out P10. We've got a 6-minute warm-up or break in between going into the second race. We will be back with you guys shortly.
then, because I'm trying to share the
You're
love. So,
live.
are we
You're
live?
live. Everyone can
Well, we
hear
are.
you.
Oh, they can. Well, welcome.
Yep, so welcome back after our 6 minute worth of warm up and everyone getting ready to come back on the grid. The slinky devil himself, Sean McNamara, has popped up into the broadcasting lounge to not only check to see if there were beers in the fridge, but he's gone and raided them, stole them, stuffed his pockets full of them, and he's about to leave again. So hi and bye, Sean McNamara. Thank you very much for setting up another fantastic race season of V8s. Everyone is loving it so far.
Cool. So I just quickly, before I go on the grid, we see the Pepsi Max and the Mobil 1 car. You all know who my money's on, the Pepsi Max one. Go Cole Taylor. Although he's in the Holden, so whatever.
Yes,
Well,
that's right.
but
They're both in the right car.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
based on last race, if your money's on Cole Taylor, it might be going out the window pretty quickly, Sean.
He's a bit average, isn't he? Up and down.
Green.
I'm seeing the grid there, and is a reverse grid with Steve Darren up near the front as they go
No,
off.
it's not. It's not a reverse grid. It's their away, and Daniel looking to hold the line down into turn one. Cole looking to sweep around the outside, but Daniel just able to hold him off there. Bit of 3 wide in there involving Grant Bristow and Jared Eccleston. Trent Bennett getting alongside there as well. Daniel Johnson's in 11th.
It's very clean though, isn't it, boys?
It is very clean.
Let's just see what happens on the last corner of the race, because that's where we had dramas last time.
Yeah, we saw a big moment last race at the final chicane with a 3 wide moment that didn't end well.
Yeah, I like to do the jinx thing, like mention how clean it is and then wait for the action. It's always a bonus. Oh, teammates, look at that.
Yeah, and Peter Vanderberg wants it this time over Derek Lovegrove, who I think Derek might have been involved in the final corner drama last time. Has he managed to walk through it this time, mate?
And the Iceman having a cool head and just backing out of that one as someone has gone around at the chicane. It's a VSK car. It looks like it was Wayne Van Belgian.
There he is. He's dropped right out the back, down 16 spots into P21.
And that's what it's all about. You got to learn somewhere. And so he's got a long way to go in this race. He can claw back a few spots, no doubt.
Here's teammate Leith Swinney, so welcome to Leith Swinney.
Oh, Steve! Oh, sorry, I just knew it was Steve. Unless it was Leon.
Well, Leon's in the top split, so it wasn't Leon.
Oh, why did Leon go there? That's unusual. We'll talk about that later.
Well, he's the champion, so that's an automatic promotion, isn't it?
Well, I did let them. I said they could stay in their own split, because I'm such a nice guy, and so the rumours go.
Yeah, so we put a few of the guys who were doing very low 1 minute 5 times that put them inside the top 10 of the Div 1 timing.
Yeah, put them up there.
Race.
Yeah.
Give them a chance to see how they go, and they can have the hard conversation and interviews with you over the weekend to see whether or not they warrant staying there or whether they're going to come back and fight it out for the Div 2 crown.
Yeah, he's definitely quick enough for old Leon, definitely. So, that's cool. I like it. This is what this whole race format is about. Obviously, we're doing split 2 at the moment, so split 1 boys are doing their thing, and no doubt we'll see how they're going on next week.
Yes, I won't point out that there is already the race control incident report, one from the Div 1 lounge that was at 5 to 9. Actually, that was from yesterday that it only just popped up, so that must have been during the practice
race. I just see that now. I said, hey, well,
I saw the time. I thought it was tonight, but no.
Yeah, we do look at everything because obviously we follow iRacing code of conduct. So all races, it doesn't matter what it is, we will look at it. If it's just a racing incident, obviously we'll let it go. If someone makes a mistake, it is what it is. Anyway, back to live, as we say.
That's it, and that is Ross Watson and Daniel Johnson. As Daniel did good to keep that on the track, but he's just dropped a position to Louis. good to see the guys are exploring some different options and being prepared to be able to try and run side by side. Don't think there was anything malicious in that. It was just a little bit of a bump. And just got to.
Is that 501 doing quite well in here? Is it? Is it the 501 car? Full spots. Oh well. Good old Louis.
Up an 8.
So, and the other thing that we need to talk about, sorry to interrupt you, but is that there he's got his photo up on his SDK, and we really need to get everyone on that. So
yeah, so we've got a few people. So Peter Vanderberg has done his one, and he's done quite a good job of cropping out the background around his photo, making it nice and black, and putting the race name banner on there. Who else was another? I think Jared Austin's good one. He's got his one.
He's had his.
I think Leith's got one, especially for Sean.
Yeah, we've seen Leith's one. Last season, I couldn't stop laughing.
But that's him. That's Leith.
That is not Leith. That is 100% not Leith. He's definitely masquerading as someone he's not. And I'm telling the authorities, you should have seen the stream when it first came up. It's, oh my god!
I did. I listened to it.
Absolutely. So I'm going to get on to the boys. So everyone put up a photo. Hey, I love that. It's just a bit of a laugh and a carry on, and that's what we're about. You know, have a bit of fun with it. I just want someone to everyone to have something up there. And yeah, Jared, peace to you, brother.
Yeah. As he's chasing. Trent Net round the track.
Oh, Ben, treat it.
Yep.
Has everyone got the name Bent on the back of his car there?
Yeah, that was so good. I made a few stuff ups late after that one, Doug, and they made sure they reminded me of it as well, so it's all good. It happens to the best of us, brother.
Thank you.
Oh, do you feel I'm sorry, is that an awkward moment? Because that's what I'm known for, Just bring up those awkward moments. Nah, mate. It's funny.
It's all good. It's good.
I'm going to leave you guys to it because you try to do your professional thing. I'm interrupted.
Just quickly before you do go, Sean, we have been talking a little bit about some of the changes for this season, and we're used to you being race control extraordinaire, but no live race control this season.
Yeah, I'm sick of the moaning, to be honest, 100%. It was, sorry to be a bit of a downer on it. It got to the point where it wasn't fun. The drivers are very passionate, which I do appreciate. So we're going to do post-race this season, and I actually get to race, which, yes, I'm an admin, but I do love racing as well, even though I'm sort of mid-pack or whatever, I don't care. I just love being out there. So we're going to go post-race. So anyone has a problem on track, just like that, we either do Discord or Facebook. But we are very... Stop putting Leaf up there, please. I can't concentrate when you do that. Yeah, don't blow it like Leaf did. You know, that's a drive-through. I just want people to be aware of... They need to make sure they're not just wasting their time with trivial stuff. No doubt they feel passionate about what they do and on track, and put yourself in the other guy's shoes is my first recommendation before calling it in. And hey, people make mistakes. People do need to realise this. We're not professional race car drivers, apart from Shane Van Gisbergen. This is a little bit of a plug. Ryan Wood, he's signed back up. Richie Stanaway, and our big friends, obviously, Brendan, and a few others that come along and join us who actually race these things for a living. Our young guns, you know, that do join us. We've got Kean in the karts, and Taylor Mitchell in the karts, and there's a few karters out there that join us. And these guys are actually very good at what they do.
The Jack Groenwalds and bits and pieces like that.
Yep. And our young Jack, he's in the car as well, isn't he? So he's a lot of Formula 4 guys and stuff. But you got to realise that, you know, we do this for fun. It's not all about end it all. It's not about being the biggest and the bestest. It's about racing clean and just enjoying it. So it's good to see. We'll see how the season goes, and if the post-race thing doesn't work out. We've done things in the past like I really like the decision maker, who was just an outside of the league, outside of New Zealand, a guy that would send picks and he'd make a call. And then we would decide the penalty once he knew who was at fault. That was a good idea. As we look at the Playboy car, who's that?
James Isherwood.
Ah, yeah. He's as mature as I am with his car paints. That's good. I talked to him the other day as well. So, I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but it's post-race, and there's a few of them.
Stop picking on people.
That's
Here we
Doug's
go.
fault. Doug's fault. VSK.
Sorry, Matt Price.
Oh, Price.
He's already got damage, so I must have got him earlier.
So, was Pricey in last season? I don't think he was, eh?
No.
And I was surprised, and I see his name pop up because he was always a good character to talk to in the old channel with the boys. So, again, all these new guys out there, jump in our Discord channel, mate. It's a good laugh. Go.
Well, here's another returnee, but new drivers and stuff, and there's another few guys across the way that I haven't heard of before. Jai Schultz.
Yeah. No, they're just odds to you because I actually signed these guys up and saw their names and talked to them all. And
I believe this is a returnee, Carl Nedler.
Carl, yes, he's one of the originals with a friend of Leafs with the VSK cars, Leafs, and does a bit of Kiwi Sim racing stuff too with those guys in their league, and
cool.
They're doing cool stuff. So hey, it's all about he's giving this a crack, and I heard he was really quick in the practice race last night. So Carl's definitely one to watch in the future. If he's in here, he's in the wrong split.
No, Carl was asked to move up.
Yep.
Leon was asked to move up. Stefan was asked to move up.
We
had another new driver, Chris Zuppich. He'd also done fast time, low 105.
Yep.
But I believe he's had technical issues tonight, some issues with his pedals. So, Chris, if you're listening at all, or if you catch the stream later on, hit us up. SuperCars NZ, jump on the community page, flick us a message, get in the Discord. We've probably got a number of people who probably might have similar gear to you, be able to troubleshoot something for you, help work it out, because we want you here racing with us, mate. You did a fast time, so hopefully we get you squared away from round one and away with a ripper.
So Chris was the one I shared our Discord channel with earlier that you helped me out with, Doug. So he was the one I shared that with. Cool. So exactly. Awesome. So hopefully he's got that and you get in touch with some of the boys. Cool.
Yeah. Another entry I see down the bottom was a Toby Stent.
Yeah.
And he's actually on my screen flying a Japanese flag. So I mean, I was talking to Wayne earlier about global domination, but this is getting out of control.
So what I've heard is that he's a Kiwi living in Japan.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't have assumed otherwise. I mean, I have heard of a lot of Toby Stents, from
You're trying to mock me.
English class at high school.
See how early I picked up on you trying to mock me? Thank you. See? Yeah, okay, mate. All right. I've got nothing because I don't really know any other Japanese names. So I'm just going to leave.
And we don't want you to try.
Well, if you look at the Japanese rugby team, I bet you there's a whole lot of English-speaking names and Islander names in that team. So thank you very much. You don't know, Doug.
Hey, well, Japan is our sister country, and very similar shape to us, and we share a few common similarities with our racetracks and sister cities, likewise between Christchurch and Tuskegee, places like Okayama,
and our earthquakes. We share our earthquakes, a few others. Anyway.
As much as well as tsunamis.
Yeah, no, we don't have to tsunamis as much as they are, but that's alright. Alright, this is awesome. I'm going to leave you guys to it. I'll probably pop back later and annoy you because it's a long race. I'm loving the new All Ports logo, and I'm loving the discount code we got up on the screen there. To all the people gaming and all the family and friends that check us out and supporters of our league, get on board and support All Ports because they've been a long time supporter of us. So really cool.
Could you give us a lap before we go?
Oh, who's in it? Who's in the car?
This is Mr. Daniel Nolan.
Daniel Nolan. So we're in his second grade Holden as we come up to turn one. See, I'm taking Shane's job. I feel awkward. Deep on the brakes, just where the pit exit is as you turn in. He's made the apex. I wish I could see his throttle trace because it's about getting on the gas early to get the time up around this track. And I think coming into this corner, you've got to give away a little bit of throttle to get on the inside like he has, down into fourth, and you can actually cut these corners quite a bit. Like obviously we race off track, so what he's racing there, he is hitting the apexes but you can actually put the left front wheel in the grass on all those corners and the right front wheel and not get off track. So I think that's where the times are to get really quick around this track, and really quick and watch them here. So yeah, you can take more of the grass with your right front tyre. Matter of trying to get on the gas early before this back straight, and this is where you need to grow some massive balls to go deep under brakes. Down to second. Is he in third? He's in third. So he doesn't know what he's up to. He should be in second. I'm making that up. Good on Daniel. Good on. So he was in third, which I never had that much pace through that corner. So yeah, obviously I run a VR setup, so I'm in the second to get it stopped. Maybe short shift to third. I think he might have done that. We just didn't quite see. But as you watch him around here, you can actually take a lot more of this track in the grass. Normally we don't get off tracks. I was way in the grass on all these corners and not losing time and not getting off tracks. So quali laps, that's what you need to do.
So there you go, folks. You heard it here first. Sean McNamara loves it in the grass.
Yeah. We also call the grass DeGrasse after Dion, because that's his last name, because he doesn't like it. So if you're ever talking to Dion, call him Dion DeGrasse. And that was brought to you by Jared Eggleston, so he started that one.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
No one's safe here with McNamara around.
No, of course not. I talk too much. I want to stop. To have it. It's good. So what is the leaderboard? Who's actually kicking ass on this thing?
This guy is.
And he's
This guy's
pulling
on board
away. He's
with.
pulling away.
So
I'm not
And
lap time.
Taylor jumps to the pits
So
right on the
Col-
halfway
yeah.
mark.
Yeah.
Yep. And he was leading over Cole by just over 5 seconds, which is now Peter Vanderberg taking up the P2 spot. So we'll be able to see in the next couple of laps how this all eventuates.
Yeah. Peter's just such a clean driver. He's a breath of fresh air when he joined our league. Him and a few others. Derek. Not Steve Darren. He's absolutely terrible. But Cole Taylor. I hope Steve watches this tomorrow. Hears me say that. Louis. I mean, these guys. Jared. They're all just trying to race clean, which is a breath of fresh air, and this is what this league needs. So it's been really good to see.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree more, mate. I do think that we are really sport here with the drivers that we've got, especially the ones that keep coming back. You learn so much about the individual drivers. You pick up on some of their quirks. You see where they're strong. You see where they're weak, and that's the benefit to the other drivers on track as well. As you start being able to learn and register where and how people race. That develops you as a driver to try and find those weak spots and counter them with your strong spots. Just great racing. I'm looking forward to seeing how everything unfolds.
Oh, how's the rejoin? How's the rejoin?
It's tight.
Did he go off? Did he go
clearly
off?
Too tight.
Who went flying off then? Oh, there he is. Oh, he is going. Who was that?
Justin Allen.
Justin. Oh, that's what happens when you got 88 in your number.
And of course, when you're leaving the pits in a race, as long as you stay stay on the right side of the white line and give plenty of room to the other guy on track, he's got as much responsibility as you do to merge safely. So, where in practice we would expect the guy coming out of the pits to stay right out of the way, in the race you do have the right to get on with it, and both guys have to merge safely.
That's 100% correct, Shane. Wouldn't agree with you 100%. Look how they go into the actual. I never did that. I never went into those blue lines on the pit lane barrier in between there. So I see.
Yeah, there's time to be found there, but it's a big risk if you meet somebody that's coming out of the pits at the same time.
Exactly.
So we'll just watch Mark Price and Daniel Nolan do it, and Price is conservative.
Right out there. Yeah. So Sean talking about cutting quarters that whole lap, and I didn't even know to do that. So
you learn something new every day, Sean.
Yeah, you do. Don't listen to Sean. Number one.
But hey, on that note though, Sean, me personally, I'm going to look forward to seeing you back out there spinning tyres.
Yeah.
I wish Wayne would show as much passion about the league as what you do. and get out there and come in and cut some
I know.
wheel spinners with us as well. Even if it was on Friday or Saturday, Wayne.
I know.
You know, the end of the week when work finishes.
Something
and
about
spin some
not wanting
wheels.
to hang out with you, Doug, is what he keeps going on about. I just don't.
I'm not there on Friday and Saturday.
I know.
V8s are not.
I think it's me. I really think it's me. Seriously.
Maybe he's just worried about all the dumb stuff I'll say about him during the stream.
Well, Wayne's a busy man. We're not talking about Wayne Van Wiljon. We're talking about Wayne Bloor, the one and only.
The blur.
Lots of
That one
superbs
down
for
there.
Wayne.
The-
We'll just
the
talk
one
about him
blur.
later. Yeah, the man of many talents but little. And
Oh, Cole Taylor's just had a big rear lock into the chicane. He's managed to gather it up and cut across, but certainly lost some time there and probably having to serve a slowdown as well, I'd say.
yeah. I've been meaning, you know how Gizzy moves his bars forwards and back during the one lap?
Not anymore, he doesn't.
No, well, I saw him moving a whole lot of shit last week that I was watching.
He moves
So
his
Shane,
brake bias.
what does he
That's
play
all
with?
he's got, yeah. He plays with his brake bias, that's all he can
Yeah.
play with. Well, he might have another lever in the middle that he can play with, but I don't know about that. I think Justine plays with that a bit more.
That's probably not going to move far during the race with the belts on.
But what I was
No,
sort of
probably not.
meaning is, and that's right, the brake bias. So what I would be doing is coming into that last corner, I'd be moving it way forward, and then after that corner, moving it way back every lap. Because what Cole did is basically the reason I run my setup further forward. But technically, you can't run the whole lap like that. So that's something for all the ins and outs. If you could actually move those bars more regularly, or sorry, not bars, the bias, it would work out. You know, so you never know. Play with your stuff, guys, and you might get some lap time.
And of course, you can get
Either
the.
that or you'll end up with a good result, eh?
Well, that or in the wall, or in the grass, in the street. So Shane, what were you going to say, mate?
You can get the levers, the old supercar style adjuster levers, so you can adjust your front and rear engine roll bar and brake bias on the fly in the way that they did work in the previous generation of supercars, this generation that we see out on track with an iRacing tonight. Obviously iRacing hasn't added the Gen 3 car yet, so we're sticking with the old gen, and you can get those levers that these cars had in them and work them just like Shane Van Gisbergen used to.
That's 100% correct. And I've got a little question for both of you. We never asked this so far in any stream, and this is a new season. What do you think of the new cars and the parity issue? Doug?
What parity issue?
So that's your point. Shane, what do you say?
I probably agree with Doug. Probably a bit biased as a Holden fan, but I do think if you look at race one of the weekend in Darwin, Cam Waters on pole probably would have won the race if he hadn't had that fire.
I don't think he would have won.
That
I don't think he
shows-
would have won. Personally, I don't think he would have won. But carry on.
Okay.
No.
But
Okay, alright.
I do think the signs are there that the Fords are capable of winning. I just think, and it's a controversial view, but I think I actually agree with Roland Dane saying that maybe the four teams just aren't doing a good enough job at the moment.
And similar response. I know my offhanded casual.
Yeah.
If there's any issue with parity
okay.
was probably a bit
No, I'm not.
blunt.
Yes, because
But
I was after a very technical and intelligent answer, and you gave me nothing. You gave me nothing.
Nothing to work with there.
Okay, but tell me what you really
Yeah,
think.
I would say that now that we've had 5 rounds take place, and they have been working on stuff, with the way that they added in the extra testings before the start of the season to try and smooth out some of those knuckles, I think as far as a mechanical thing and an aero thing go, the two are in line with one another.
Yeah.
As far as the combination of those, putting them into the car, I think some teams have just been able to grab what they have got and make it work better than others. And Q point, some of the Ford teams have done it. They've done it really well. I.e., your Cam Waters and a couple of other boys who have been sitting up the front. There definitely seems to be a lot more Chevys in the field, which probably shows a bit more dominance as a total anyway.
Yeah.
But when you watch the two cars race together, the fast ones, I would agree with Shane what he said before. I don't think there would have been too many Camaros that would have had a lick at keeping up with Waters during the weekend after him starting on pole. Seeing that battle take place with Feeney and Winterbottom, I still think they would have been battling for second place with Waters well ahead of them towards the end of the race.
Fair enough.
I think
It's a good
there's
point.
just been such a massive change from last season with the Gen 2 cars with all the aero to now with cars that don't. And you know, there's now starting to talk about the yaw on the cars. That they're saying that the Chevy has the ability of that side to side roll and giving it a bit more traction coming around some of the the faster bending corners, whereas they're saying the Mustang's too tight and that's causing the rear to slip, which is overheating the tyres. You go, okay, well, work with what you've got and find those other areas to improve. You know, they probably be able to get through, brake later or get through tighter corners quicker. You do see the Mustangs on track being able to turn in tighter at a lot of the corners over the Chevys, and the Chevys are doing more like what you said your race styling is, Sean, is get to that corner, turn hard, point it straight and gas it again. So I think that they've just got to go back to the drawing board, some of those Mustang teams.
Yeah. So now you two have had your little say, your little minion say. So I shouldn't say it like that. So this is my point of view, and it's only a point of view of mine. It's not SuperCars NZ or anything. It's just like you've had Winterbottom win a race, who I was absolutely wrapped for, 100% wrapped for Winterbottom to win a race, and then you have Matt Stone win a race. And again, 100% back them for winning a race.
Yep.
But you got two teams that would never win a race in the old cars. Ever.
Well, not in the previous generation car.
So that alone
maybe
tells
going
me,
back to Gen 1, possibly, yes.
But that brings me back to, and as I said, I take nothing away from them. They deserve their wins, and they've worked hard to get there. And I'm a big Stone Brothers fan from way back in the day. So don't get me wrong, it doesn't matter what manufacturer works. I'm happy for them, and I'm glad they have won. And same with Winterbottom. He struggled so hard. 2016 was his last win, so very happy for them.
Especially when you look at it, the fact that he was able to hold off, a 20-year-old who's been called in to race with Red Bull Racing,
I know.
And has shown mega dominance against other, top series drivers at the moment, and then to not really able to give much in the way of getting by him. So,
and I just think with all the talk about how drivers shouldn't talk too much, and SuperCars just it hasn't been run right this season. They've had a long time to get them right. I personally don't think they are right. That's my only personal opinion, and we'll leave it at that. So that's just my opinion. Oh, he's wide. To be honest, I think the racing in here is probably more exciting than watching the racing on TV on Sky Sports. So tune in, boys. Tune in.
I would agree.
And we've got some characters in here. I love it in the Indy cars how they're pulling the fingers to each other when they crash. So even though that was at a Kiwi, I've got a photo of that that I'll share with later. To me, it's just I like to see excitement on track, regardless of how it is. And the V8 and the SuperCars, I don't think they've delivered this year personally, for many different reasons. Yeah, but all ports, hey. Bit of a discount there, isn't there?
Sure is. Yep. So put in the code SCNZ at the checkout counter at the allports.nz website, and you can get yourself some Sparko gaming products for 15% off. And as far as their products go, there's a few people out there running them: the gloves, the socks, and the boots. You yourself there, Sean, you got some of his bits and pieces and gear,
of course I do.
And some seat and stuff like that. And I mean, I think, and I'm going to blow a little bit of trumpet here for a minute, and it's non-V8 related, it's GT3 related, and it's because I hate you with a passion deeply when you do it, is you're not even racing in the series. You go out there and having a wee tutu around while you wait for Wayne to join.
Oh yeah, on practices.
And you're hitting top 5 times.
Yeah,
So
one
I
lap
mean,
wonders,
if that's
one lap
if that's
wonders
not
there.
if that's not proof that any Gumby running some Sparko gaming product at home can go out and do a fast time, that should be the advertising point right there.
Shane's just put in an order now after that little speech.
By the look of the way Scott McKenzie's been going the last few laps, I think he might need to get some.
Yeah.
Is that a bit of netcode going on there, or what? I don't know.
I think so. He does. Seem
Can
to
you
have,
stop going to Leaf? Can you please stop going to Leaf? I can't watch it. He really needs to change that. Bill needs to sort his out too.
The thing is I clicked on exciting, and Leith came up straight away. So
I mean, it just sees the picture. Just maybe iRacing sees the picture. That's why it goes so exciting.
iRacing's got something to tell us.
Oh, that was close.
That was Bill closing the door on Leith. Yep.
But what I must say right now is Bill in front of Leith, and we're at lap 27. This is an awesome race by Bill, because he's a battler in this league. He has been for a long time, and shown a bit of talent in this race, much like the track.
Is that so? As far as talent goes, I mean, this guy is certainly. I said it in the last race. I'll say it again. Hopefully, with 3 laps to go, I don't jinx him. But 10 seconds ahead. Of Peter Vanderberg here in second spot. So Daniel's definitely going to be getting the call up to Div 1 whether he likes it or not.
Yeah.
That's a given. Peter Vanderberg, I'm interested to see how his series goes, because with a few of those other guys being moved up, and like you said, Mr. Consistency here, I'd say we could very easily see a number 1 on the side of his car in the future. Derek Lovegrove, that teammates like these two between Peter and Derek, they're often towards the front, and it's usually by someone else's error that causes them to fall off to the back. So Derek doing great, started third, still third at the moment. Cole Taylor, he's another one to be, that with the contention there to be sitting on the podium. But with the way Bill's running tonight, up 3 spots there, sitting in 5th. This might be the season of Bill. So we'll keep an eye on him. Leith's definitely got something to prove. Coming in here and running the V8's a bit of a big difference from him from his usual dominant self in the GT3s. But
so we've got a whole team of those VSK guys, and there's
3
quite,
of them, I think.
split 1, split 2, and there might be 4 if I figure it out. Yeah,
maybe, yeah. And they're not unfamiliar with running front engine rear wheel drive cars, because a lot of those guys do the NASCAR driving stuff as well. So they're probably going to be working very hard together to come up with a good team plan and some good race sets. Daniel Johnson, I mean, he could be, P1, but he's driving the wrong car. So Daniel, it's not too late.
So Daniel and his
old man,
Andrew, I think they finished last season within like 3 points of each other. In the championship. It was crazy, mate. How close they were. The banter in that household must have been F you, Dad. F you. I would have been like that.
Sunday roast dinners must have been like Shane,
eh? I'd be like trying to push him out of the way, or do something to get that one. Imagine the conversations in that house would have been cool. Anyway,
you'd be trying to find that sweet plug on that sweet spot on the wall plug of where it's just enough to keep powered, but an aggressive left hand down would be enough for the plug to rattle out of the wall.
And yes, I want to have a quick chat to you two before the GT3, so we get the right points table intact. I know we haven't talked about that, so we need to quickly do that before Thursday. Oh, you have? Good man. Oh no, it's cool. That's why I was making sure. Are you doing the rounds after the end of the season, or are you doing them during the season? I would have done them after the season, but that's fine.
I've asked iRacing not to include them.
Yeah, cool.
So,
that's perfect.
So it should show as
just it is what it is into the end. Yeah. Because we can always manually do it at the end, and then the guys racing can actually see where they are, and they can even prove us wrong, or if they, what I mean. So each day they can look at it and go, oh yeah, I know where I am. Yeah, that's what I'm doing in the V8s. I've got rid of all the drop rounds. I have said no drop rounds, but I've always said it's a 10 round, and I'm trying to throw one more round in there. So I know I'm changing it up a little bit and being a little bit cheeky.
We told everyone before that additional round with that with the track change wasn't going to count anyway. So we've said it. You've got to do it.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I do what I like anyway. If the people want it, the people want it. If they don't, they don't. You know, I'm more than happy either way. You know, and as I said, I'm not here to win or lose by it. I'm just here for everyone to be involved and create something that's cool.
And apologies to Daniel Nolan. He won the race.
Hit him.
Peter Vanderberg pulled up beside him nicely, and we've got Cole Taylor just coming across the line in P3. So, I mean, non-championship round, we had a little bit of drama in the first race, and the guys congratulating him or pulling the finger as they go by, saying piss off to Div 1.
Only 20 drivers, though. Only 20 drivers?
No. So there's probably a few guys here. Like, we had a couple of connective issues, and a couple of guys that dropped out midway through. So I'd say they're going to be quite balanced fields this season. My prediction is probably going to be 25-25 on the fence.
Yeah, and hey, it is what it is.
In Div 1 and 25 in Div 2. And I think as far as that goes, it should be good, and as long as everyone turns up for the races, and as Shane said before, because we're not running any drop rounds, Sean, you've got to turn up, you've got to earn the points, you've got to do it. It's the season for the drivers who have the time to turn up and do it, to make it their own, and squeeze those other guys who are usually fast, that can afford a few drop rounds.
Yeah.
Putting the pressure on them on the podium.
Yeah, 100%. That's how I got fourth in that Kings one. It's because I turned up every round.
I thought that was because we dropped 6 rounds for the season.
It's because I passed people and just did macros. That's exactly what happened. That's cool. It is looking good, man. I'll leave you guys to close this off, and I do look forward to the GT3s as well. I love the start of a new season. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, so Thursday is going to be the official round 1 of the series. The drivers are going to be taking their skill set to Lime Rock, which is
I hate that track.
I
hate that track. I cannot.
It's going to be an interesting one. It's a track most of us love when we first started out in rookies and running MX5s. So we're very grateful to have moved on from. So to now see it as part of the GT3 series, it's I'm looking forward to it.
Which one is it? Is it the chicane? Is it the swinging jump around the outside? The jump that you get airborne?
I don't think it's got the chicane at the bottom. I think it's the Grand Prix or whatever they call it.
I believe it's the no chicanes layout. I did put all the layouts on the posters where applicable, so I can tell you that it is. Oh, sorry, for the GT3s, it is the GP layout. So that's got so it doesn't take the jump, so it's got the chicane at the bottom, but not the top chicane. But tomorrow night, we're there in the TCRs with no chicanes.
And that's the first round of the championship in the TCRs?
It will be too, yes.
Yes. So we haven't really pushed the TCRs, but it is a league that is growing, and obviously anyone can join it. Our lovely SDI Steve is organising that one, and we wish everyone in the TCRs best of luck, and it's a car I haven't quite currently got to grips with, and I'm pretty slow, so I'll be cheering everyone on and joining it, calling in and giving everyone a bit of a hard time in the Discord.
Yeah, well, there's going to be I was going to have a chat to you, Macca, about it. The possibility of us running a couple of streams on Wednesday night to show off the TCRs. So
I think we should, 100%. I think we should.
If you're around for a yarn while the guys come and do some heat races, I'll be quite happily to run the stream, and we can take the piss out of the guys while they pretend that they know how to race cars.
100%. That's what I'm in. That's what I come to this for.
We've noticed.
Very good.
Okay, Shane.
So there we go.
Talk to you later.
Thank you to the viewers at home. That was welcome back to SuperCars NZ Season 2 for 2023. All Ports Motorsport, main season sponsor. get on board with them. Hit them up, allports.nz. They've got heaps of race supplies. More importantly for us, they have sim racing supplies. At checkout, hit up that SCNZ under their Sparko Gaming products to get 15% discount. Thank you very much to you, Shano, for sitting up here with me again. Looking forward to another awesome season with you commentating on the V8s. Macca, we're more importantly looking forward to seeing you out there on track, and for any time that we get a chance to click onto you to see you spin off into a wall, I will be there to show the world it happen.
I tell you right now, for every time you see me off track, I'll donate $5 to a cause. So I look forward to that. So every time I'm off track and I'm on a stream, I'll donate $5 to a charity. So I can't wait to stay on track and keep all my money. Thank you.
Very good. So tune in next week, Tuesday, to watch the Sean McNamara show.
What do I want to give myself on a stream, mate? We'll talk about that later.
Very good, guys. All right. Thank you very much, and we will catch you all later on. See you.
Bye.